Hi guys, welcome to episode 3 of season 2 Tez Talks Q&A, and thanks again for all your amazing questions. We should start. Firstly, I should just mention we have, again, there's going to be a few weeks of this, we have guys working on our house, and so this is their music and it's feeding their soul right now, and I don't want to ask them to turn it off, so we're going to listen to this music, okay? Alright, okay, so we'll start. Gosh, dealing with struggle. I feel like that's an everyday thing, right? There are so many times when we are struggling each and every day. I could go through my past week and say, well, in the morning I woke up and I was feeling like this, and energetically I was off. And I think actually just knowing yourself really well is super important, and just feeling when your equilibrium's off, and being able to acknowledge that and recognize it, and then also knowing what your tools are to help pull yourself out of it. I had a moment of struggle about a month ago. I had a lot of stuff going on. There was some stresses at work. I had really taken on the energy of somebody else's stress surrounding a film that I was involved in. And I completely took that stress and I just blanketed myself in it. And I woke up and I was distraught, and also my mum was sick at the time, and I was dealing with so much stuff, and suddenly all I wanted to do was stay in bed. And I felt really miserable. Everything felt heavy. All I wanted to do was binge eat. And but the great thing is I've been there. I know what that feels like. I know I'm just sitting in this low vibrational space. And so I knew it was on me and nobody else to pull myself out of it. So what I did is I took a deep breath and I just got really present. What do I have to deal with right now in this moment? All right, right now in this moment, I'm going to get out of bed. Now in this moment, I'm brushing my teeth. Now I'm getting ready for the day. Now I'm picking up my son from school. I just took each moment step by step. And I think that's important because we get so overwhelmed when we look at life as this big thing and look at the future and our plans, or we dwell in the past. So I had to get really present, and I acknowledged that I was feeling a certain way. I would allow the feelings to be there. I'd also allow them to pass, and that this too shall pass. And that, I guess, is how I found my inspiration, was just realizing that this isn't my reality forever. This is a challenging time right now. Let's get into these feelings. And slowly, as soon as I started really getting into some of these feelings and feeling them and allowing them to be there, the issues started to unravel. And then sure enough, the next week I get all this amazing news and everything's completely turned around. So I think accepting the struggle is key. And then once you've accepted the struggle, it's about not judging the struggle and being okay with being in the struggle and looking at it as an opportunity for growth. Where's my lesson in this? What can I learn? What beautiful gift am I getting from this? And in that, your energy is going to shift and change. And I'm not sure if you've noticed, but when your energy shifts and you become open and you become lighter, wonderful things start to come your way. Maybe this struggle starts to unravel and it becomes a lot easier to manage. So that's my process with it. Again, reading books whenever I've really struggled. There's this great author called Pema Chodron. I don't know if I said her name correctly. Eckhart Tolle, who I always go back to. In terms of parenting stuff, I love Dr. Shefali Sabari. She's amazing. So I have my go-to gurus that I can come in, check in, find inspiration, and then keep going. And I think that's really important too. Even just having a list by your bed. These are my tools. I'm going to read these things. I'm going to do a meditation. And I'm just going to get through it. So that's what I do. It's funny, you might not think this about me, but when I grew up, I hated vegetables. I hated them. Like as a 20-year-old, I was still like, yeah. All I wanted to eat was McDonald's and fast foods. Hi babe, do you need me? I guess not. All I wanted to eat was junk food, junky stuff. And it's all I knew. It was what I was brought up on. I also was eating a lot of meat at that time, which didn't feel good in my body. And then suddenly I felt really sluggish. And I think the moment that you realize that the foods that you're putting in your body are not serving you, that's the moment that you know you can start making changes for your health. Not only is the food that we eat our medicine, but it's also what fuels every aspect of who we are. I mean, our brain works so much better when we're eating clean, healthy, nutrient-dense food. So I looked at it like that. Every crappy piece of food I was putting in my mouth, I knew it was making me feel bad. And so I think sometimes I have this when I eat chocolate, or even like a caramello koala, which all the Australians out there would know what that is. It's like caramel and then chocolate on the outside in the shape of a little koala. It's my favorite. It's also my stepson Isaac's favorite. But I would pound caramello koalas, like literally eat 10 in a row. And whilst like the immediate feeling was amazing, the after effect, like the next hour or two, it started to feel like, oh, I was crashing after having such a sugar high, and I felt really low energy. And I think it's just about listening to your body. And I didn't like vegetables. So what I did was, I was like, how do I make vegetables yummy? So for instance, broccoli, I'm okay with broccoli now, but I really hated broccoli to begin with. And so what I do is I will make like a broccoli soup and add some like vegan cheese in there, make it a little heavier, have some bread. You know, sometimes I'll do like a broccoli artichoke dip. So I know that I'm getting the broccoli, I'm getting some artichoke, but I also get to have some things that I really enjoy. Like I'll put a little bit of dairy in there. And it feels really good. In fact, that's what I'm having for lunch. So you just make your vegetables feel a little bit more interesting. Who likes bland vegetables? I hate vegetables that just taste. I mean, cauliflower, forget about it. I'm never gonna like cauliflower. Unless I fry it to a crisp, I'm not gonna like it. There are certain things like sweet potato. You can make baked sweet potato fries and chuck a whole bunch of cinnamon over the top because cinnamon makes everything taste good. Lemon makes everything taste good. Any veggies and you squeeze a whole bunch of lemon, sometimes like you roast them so they're like really crisp. That gives a nice sort of burnt flavor to them, which I love. So like those roasted veggies, you make them a little crunchy. I feel like that makes everything taste so good. So it's just about finding those websites that give you all the options of like how to make vegetables palatable. But it's not just about vegetables. Fruit is delicious. I mean, there's so much beautiful natural sugar in fruit and it's so good for your body. So incorporating fruit into your life is really fantastic. That's eating very cleanly. As close to nature as possible is what we want. I mean, really stay away from the middle aisles at the supermarket because the middle aisles are all packaged foods. But all the outside aisles are the fresh greens and it's all the fruits and there's milks, and I tend to shop all around there and not go in the middle with all the packaged foods because they're all processed and they're so far away from nature. So the closer to nature we stay, the better it is for our bodies. And then just find those little treats that pick you up but are the healthier version of treats. So instead of pounding 10 caramello koalas, I get these chocolate protein bars which actually give me some sort of nutrients, plus I get a little taste of some dark chocolate, which is pretty good for your body. So just learn, like really learn about the stuff, and there's so many amazing websites out there that will help you transition from an unhealthy diet into eating a little bit healthier. So best of luck. Great decision to change things around. I think when I was first thrust into this environment, there was so much schmoozing that was involved. Come and meet this person, talk to that person, attend that party, connect with this person. And it was a lot of stuff that I didn't feel comfortable with. I remember thinking at the time, like, why would I want to talk to that person? I understand they're very powerful and could be beneficial to my career, but why would I want to talk to him? I don't have anything in common with him. So when I was younger, I would go to these parties and I just wouldn't be able to do it. It didn't feel like me. I couldn't schmooze. I couldn't network. It just was never my style. So I think because of that, I actually inadvertently said no. But then now, like, I can consciously just say no to the things that make me feel uncomfortable. And I think that when you take the road that feels authentic to you and you're following your style and your version and your heart and what you believe in the end, you will have a greater benefit in your career, in your life. And I don't think you need to cut corners by forgetting parts of who you are, ignoring parts of who you are, and delving into another place that feels uncomfortable. I don't think anyone is going to have long-term benefit from having those kind of interactions. So I think it's about putting boundaries up, knowing what you're comfortable with, knowing what you're not comfortable with, despite what you think it may do for your career or your life. Never go against your personal beliefs, because I think it's so detrimental, that kind of trauma that you can take on when you go against your personal beliefs. It's a really hard one to have to navigate, to go and like start healing that personal trauma because you thought maybe it would make your life better. It's just not worth it in the end. And I think if you stay on your path that's true to you, you will get there. You will have all those things that you want to have, and you will have it in a pure way, in an authentic way, in a way that feels right with your intuition and your instincts. That is, to me, the most integral thing. I mean, don't we just really want to be real? Like, at the end of the day, let's just be real. And the way we're real is just by learning who we are, what we believe in, what sits right with us, and then always staying in that place. And that's loving yourself, and that's in turn loving other people too. So that would be my answer. Don't be tempted to do it. Don't take shortcuts. Like, stay on your true path. I think that's the most important way. Thanks, guys.